You're watching APTN.
I'm proud of it. Being proud of what our ancestors did.
I can only speak for Dakota Plains and its people. We've always recognized the fact that we were here time immemorial. There is no Manitoba border. There is no international border.
Chief and I, sometimes we wonder that why are we, why us, right? But we've always had that inquisitive nature that it's like disobedience.
It was something I grew up with my mother, and then because my mother got it from her grandmother, my grandmother was kind of like knew the relations, the oral histories, and my mother was raised by her grandmother, and then she carried it on to her children, which is us, and then so picking it up from my mother, from my grandmother, and then my great-grandmother, it was always in our family to be knowing our history, knowing who we are.
Geneva Smoke lives in Dakota Teepee First Nation, right next door to Portage La Prairie, Manitoba. And for her, this research is personal.
Knowing our identity and being proud of it, being proud of what our ancestors did and sharing the good stories that to inspire us, to give to us, so that we're proud of our grandparents and the things that they did to be here. And just for us to be here, they went through a lot of stuff for us to be here. So, and this is growing up with it. Our nation, our tribe, our grandparents, our ancestors, we've always been here. We didn't just come up here when the American Sioux came, when the wars were happening. They were relatives and across the border, because they made a border now. They were relatives to the American Sioux. And the Americans who knew they were over here already because they're relatives and because of the migration.
Smoke keeps a blog, the Sioux Village Facebook page.
When they pass away, the only thing they say is, never forget us, never forget. And so, yeah, we're never going to forget. And that's my passion, is knowing that our grandmothers had to go through really hard times for us to be here, because the governments didn't want us to be here, didn't want our tribes to be here. But we're still here, and we're proving that we've been here.
Smoke's research focuses on the story of the Dakota people who live in the area of Portage La Prairie, Manitoba. The history books tend to zero in on a group of Dakota people who fled the 1862 Dakota War in Minnesota, coming north of the 49th parallel. But the Dakota are a plains people, known to have historically occupied a swath of plains land stretching well into present-day Canada. Unlike other First Nations, the Dakota don't have treaties with Canada. In fact, in Portage La Prairie, they bought their own land in 1893.
They were self-sufficient, they purchased their own land, and they were sovereign, they were successful. They worked for what they had to, and then the government didn't know how to address them because they're on their own land.
Smoke says that's a little known fact.
Not too much people are aware of it. And that's why I say it's new for some people. Dakota history in Canada is new for some people. For us, we grew up with it. I've always known it.
Craig Blacksmith knows it too. Blacksmith is CEO of Dakota Plains. He's been arguing for a better deal for the First Nation for more than a decade.
On one hand, Canada wants to reconcile, but how do you reconcile when you don't acknowledge the truth of what these Indian reserves are? They're not nature. So when it comes to negotiating, we're not taking the approach that the Indians do through Section 35 of the Repatriated Constitution, because that again is a separate set of rights.
It's complicated, what Craig is proposing, and difficult to get across.
When the Constitution was repatriated in 1982, Canada introduced the Charter of Rights legislation. So everybody's equal under the law, and liberty, and there's rights for a human being. And then they have Section 35, which is Aboriginal rights. So this is again something that we're trying to difficult to get across. Why do you have a different set of rights than me? And people are led to believe that somehow these Aboriginal rights or Indigenous rights are kind of superior, but they're not.
You may or may not agree with Craig's opinion on Section 35 of the Constitution, but the notion that Dakota people in the area around Portage-la Prairie have been treated unfairly is more difficult to argue with. Because the land Dakota people bought for themselves and thrived on was taken away from them. And it all started with a motion by Portage-la Prairie City Council in 1911. Council moved to take action against the alleged issues of immorality and drunkenness in the so-called Indian Village, also known as Lot 99, the piece of land the Dakota had purchased for themselves. The Portage Council voted to contact the area's Indian agents and asked that the Dakota people be placed elsewhere. What followed was a more than 60-year series of events which deeply impacted the community of Dakota people who lived around Portage-la Prairie. In the ensuing years, the federal government wrested not just Lot 99 from the Dakotas, but also another piece of land known as Lot 14. And by 1973, the Portage area Dakotas had been split in two. One group was placed on land that was originally part of the Long Plain Reserve. This reserve became known as Dakota Plains, and the other group was placed on property known as Parish Lot 25, and became known as Dakota Teepee. Geneva Smoke lives in Dakota Teepee First Nation, and Craig Blacksmith is CEO of Dakota Plains. And both of them are dedicated to putting a spotlight on what happened to the Dakotas of Portage-la Prairie. Coming up, we'll peer back even further to see just how long Dakota people have been north of the 49th parallel. And also meet Dakota Plains Chief Orville Smoke, Geneva's grandfather, and hear what he thinks his people are owed.
You should remember where you come from.
I think it would be possible that we would be chosen to be visited by the aliens.
Hear first-hand stories of out-of-this-world encounters.
The lights were gone, and you could see them up.
Indians and aliens. Tonight on APTN.
When it comes to hotels, we're very demanding. We want a pool. A cool pool. 24-hour room service.
And a doctor on site.
This selected filters you need, and Trivago will compare prices from hundreds of websites worldwide. Hotels? Trivago.
If you made a compensation claim for abuse at an Indian residential school, the records of your claim are secure. They will be destroyed in September 2027 unless you choose to keep them or share them. To learn more, call toll-free 1-877 635-2648 or go to myrecordsmychoice.ca.
I got it. Time for McFix. Delicious choices under $2. Let's eat.
Have a question or comment, a story idea for the APTN Investigates team? Connect with us at aptnnews.ca/investigates now. There are long-standing Indigenous legends that captivate our imagination with their threads of truth.
I look at our legends now and I go, what is the reason?
But are they real, or are they just stories?
I have to kind of speak the truth of what I see.
As a researcher, you have to be willing to accept the possibility you may be wrong. Are you ready for your next assignment?
What's that? Tom Jackson and Sherry Stonechild host Red Earth Uncovered, Thursday on APTN.
At AccuSec, we listen to you. So we know that you don't let diabetes hold you back. When you said you wanted testing to be easier, we heard you. And when you said you wanted a meter that keeps up with your active lifestyle, we heard that too. That's why we've gone to great lengths to provide a simple testing experience. Discover the upside of the spill-resistant Smart Pack, designed to hold its test strips in place, even upside down. Easily remove one single.
Take care if there's anybody on Earth. I don't know, I haven't met anybody this century, I think.